You ever notice when you don't tell someone what to think, they somehow get it better? That's because the unconscious mind hates being told what to do, but it loves completing patterns. You drop an implication, a little sideways suggestion, the brain grabs it, wraps it in the most emotionally resonant shift, and bam, you've just installed a new belief in stealth mode. You already do this when you tell a story and someone says, wow, I needed to hear that. Even though you weren't talking about them. You weren't preaching, you were inviting. Now do it consciously. Tell less, imply more. Because when you imply, you give people back the sovereignty to come to their own conclusions. And they will always, always defend and integrate what they choose better than what you ram down their throat. If you really got this, what would change for you? Without me even saying a word. And there's the little crack. That holy crack in the concrete mind. That's where the fucking light gets in. That's where you work the magic. So how do you already do this? You don't need to learn this, you need to remember. Think of the last time you looked at someone and they just knew what you meant, with no words. Or when you didn't explain your boundaries, but your energy made it fucking clear. You're a pattern machine. Your nervous system is wired to detect what's not said. So flip it. Use that power. Layer it into your communication, your vibe, your posture, your pauses. Use silence like a sacred hammer. Let your intention fuck them up in the best way. Why does this shit work? The brain is a prediction machine. It fills in gaps. So when you give it a mystery, a deliberate void, it lights the fuck up. Dopamine spikes. Neural pathways rewire. The old limbic junk starts melting as the prefrontal cortex takes the wheel and rewrites the narrative. Implies, it activates subconscious. Telling triggers defenses. You're hacking evolution here. You're sneaking past the bouncer of the conscious mind straight to the VIP section of transformation. You're not forcing change, you're seducing it. So what the fuck is holding you back? Let's not sugarcoat this. You're scared. Not because you're weak. Because you learned being bold, clear, real got you in pain. Maybe rejection, maybe humiliation. Maybe you learned people only love you when you're soft, nice, invisible. Fuck that noise. You've been addicted to being understood. What you really want is to be felt. To be felt, you have to risk being misunderstood. You have to imply, not explain. You have to radiate, the kind of clarity that doesn't ask permission to exist. Burn the bridge behind you and stop trying to people please your way into safety. That's not safety, that's spiritual suffocation. Confusion is an open loop and you're primed for change. Confusion is the golden key. When someone's confused, their old neural loops, they're temporarily offline. That's when you slip in new associations, new meanings, new fucking stories. The brain hates not knowing, so it searches, it grabs. Confusion is the enemy. It's the hallway between the old paradigm and the new one. And you, my friend, are the architect of what gets placed in that space. Here are the patterns that keep you fucked. Let's call them out. Over-explaining, waiting for permission, performing for approval, dimming your fire to fit in, thinking too much, acting too little, wanting to be liked more than you want to be true. Burn it down, all of it. Each of these patterns is a shield, and every shield is a prison. The mind says, this keeps me safe, but it's lying. It keeps you small. The world runs the show until the truth steps in and says, we're done here. So how can you pace and lead with this power? You pace their reality by meeting them where they are, in story, in tone, energy. Then you lead by implying a shift they haven't made yet, one that feels like a natural step, so they take it as their own. You know how sometimes you start realizing the shit you've been avoiding is the exact doorway they need to walk through next, and suddenly they're walking. Now do that with your identity, with your voice, with your purpose. Speak it in a way that assumes change, assumes impact. Speak from the future self who's already living it. And they'll catch the current and fucking follow you. You are a force of nature. You imply change with your presence before you speak a word. You don't beg, you don't chase. You imply, invite, suggest, radiate. You're not here to convince anyone. You're here to embody a frequency so undeniable, the room shifts before you even enter it. You speak with clarity, because clarity is divine. You hold silence like a sword. You drop truth like thunder. You imply transformation like a storm implies rain, inevitable. And in this new timeline, you don't hope people get it. You know they feel it. You walk in, and their soul says, finally.